Welcome to the Misha Wilson Show, where we show you how to create massive success online so you can live the lifestyle of your wildest dreams. As always, if you get value out of this episode, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that thumbs up button below so you're notified when I do more videos just like this. And don't forget to let me know in the comment section what your biggest takeaway is from this video. With that said, let's go ahead and dive in to today's episode.
What is going on, everyone? Misha Wilson here, coming at you on a bright and sunny morning from the beautiful island of Maui, Hawaii. Let me know what your name is and where you are coming in from. And as you hop on and pay attention here to today's Facebook Live, let me know that you can see and hear me loud and clear. And I will go ahead and get this show on the road. Today I want to talk about a lesson that I share with my students all the time, people who come to events, workshops, people who I work with in a virtual setting, and something that I've had to remind myself of lately in a new undertaking and a new project that we're going ahead and doing. So it looks like I am indeed good to go, and I am indeed live. Let me know what your name is and where you're coming in from, and always, as always, if you guys get value out of today's Facebook Live, be sure to go ahead and share. And if I get enough shares to views, I'll be sure to do more Facebook Lives just like this one. So today I want to talk about one of the things that holds so many people back from creating success when it comes to executing upon tactics, executing upon stuff they learn, executing upon stuff that they're taught. And something that at the end of the day is just kind of one of those silent killers, all right? So it's not one of the things that you'll go out and you'll do and you'll mess up and you'll waste tens of thousands of dollars. It's not one of those things where you'll go out and have some big public failure because of it. But this thing will keep you from ever making any progress in your business based on the fact that it'll keep you from taking the action steps that you need to take. All right. So I remember when I was first getting started and, I was trying to get my business off the ground, and I would complete a task and get it almost done. And then I'd look back on it and I'd look at, okay, how can I tweak this email before I send the email out? Because if I send the email out and if it's not perfect, my email list subscribers might get angry. I would create a webinar and then I would spend days upon days upon days looking back on the webinar and saying, all right, how can I tweak this webinar? How can I adjust this webinar so I can get it just perfect? Because if I host this webinar and it's not perfect, someone might get angry on the webinar. I would create a product. This was one that totally killed my progress. I'd create a product and I'd stop and I'd literally re-record all of the modules after listening to it 1, 2, 3, 4 times to make sure that every single little if, and, but that didn't need to be in there wasn't in there. And I would essentially sit down and try to make everything perfect before I actually just got the damn thing off the ground. And that's what I want to talk to you here today about. Really the enemy of getting stuff done, and that being the silent killer of perfectionism. So again, I used to struggle with this all the time, and I work with clients with our workshops and, in a virtual setting. And one of the things that consistently holds people back more than just about anything is perfectionism. Let me see if I can get my send lane follow-up campaign just right before I run any traffic. Let me see if I can get my webinar presentation just right before I ever host it. Let me make sure that I have everything set up tracking wise in 4 different funnels that talk to each other, even though I've never brought anyone through one of the funnels before I ever run any traffic. Let me make sure that XYZ is set up just perfectly before I ever do anything in my business. And I will tell you, beyond all else, that mindset will keep you stuck. That mindset will keep you from making progress. That mindset will paralyze you, because what tends to happen when you're there is you stop taking action, you start learning more and more and more, and you start to stick yourself in a corner of intaking information without ever executing. And so there's a bunch of inputs without any outputs, and you end up finding yourself stuck in confusion, stuck in information overload, stuck in, constantly taking more information in, and in a state of analysis paralysis based on what's the next thing for me to do and how can I do that thing just perfect before you ever actually just get out and do the thing. And I was in my state, kind of in my journey, not making progress, not seeing success, being a perfectionist about everything, and not creating any progress as a result. And I remember I had a mentor stop me. And the mentor stopped me in my tracks and essentially said, Misha, what's the enemy of getting it done? And he said, perfect is the enemy of getting it done. And along with that, he said something that I will always remember and something that I live by. And he said, sometimes good enough just has to be good enough. And when you look at those two statements, firstly, perfect is the enemy of getting it done. And secondly, sometimes good enough just has to be good enough. You have zero excuses to just go do the thing in your business. And the reason why I'm doing this today, this Facebook Live, a little reminder of this lesson, is because we've been kind of starting a new initiative. We're kind of going down the rabbit hole of Facebook ads. We're getting stuff set up in our business to start using Facebook ads and leveraging Facebook ads. And so I'm writing copy. I'm learning from a bunch of different people. And one of the amazing things about kind of once you get to a certain level in this industry is that you can tap into really genius minds and hop on calls with people who really know what they're doing. So I hopped on a call with Fernie the other day from Elite Marketing Pro. I'm gonna hop on a call with Kate McShay tomorrow. I hopped on a call with someone else that you guys probably don't know. He's kind of behind the scenes, behind a lot of Facebook ads and campaigns yesterday. And I've gone through a few different courses. And so I have all this information coming in, all this genius coming in from all these different, brilliant minds when it comes to marketing. And they all have slightly different approaches. They all say, okay, this is the exact formula I use, this is the exact formula I use, this is the exact formula I use, etc. And so what I've been doing is trying to take that information, decipher that information, and then put it to use. And what I noticed about, 2 days ago or so was I had literally started, and give me some comments, likes, hearts, and shares. As always, give me a quick one in the comments box below if you guys are getting value. And once again, be sure to go ahead and tag up a friend if you know a friend who needs to hear this message. But I had got myself into a point where I was learning amazing new strategies, tactics, getting different advice from different individuals, going through different courses, really, consuming my time with market research when it comes to Facebook and doing all the things I was supposed to do. But what I realized as a result is I was kind of getting stuck in that same state that I had been stuck in before. I was kind of getting stuck in that same realm of, God, I've learned a bunch, but I haven't actually done anything. I've changed this freaking ad 18 times, but I've never placed the damn thing to see if it actually works. And I was finding that I was getting stuck in that same paradigm that I used to get stuck in, that used to hold me back, and which used to keep me from making progress. And so essentially yesterday, I said, all right, look, good enough has to be good enough. Let's get this thing off the ground. Let's get this thing started and let's fire away and let's get the actual ad placed. Got it placed, got our first clicks, our first leads, our first results come in from Facebook. And look, now I have data. Now I have measurable data. Now I have stuff that I can look at and then tweak from. Now I have stuff that I can work off of to make better. And the main thing is that I snapped the pattern of getting stuck in analysis paralysis. I snapped the pattern of only intaking more information. I snapped the pattern of, again, what's the best? God, I think I should tweak this. Should I make this a little bit better? Should I tweak this like that? Maybe I'll go with this one instead of that one. Maybe I'll change this email to this email. And I snapped that overall process. And the minute you snap that overall process, you will find that, again, it feels like a weight off your shoulders. Even if the first ad doesn't go perfectly, which it never will, the first whatever you're doing will never go perfectly. You will feel a weight off your shoulders. You will feel the ability to go out and do more and execute more, refine your tactics, refine your strategies, and once again, get better moving forward But if you never actually get out of your own way, it's one of those things that you can never actually make progress, because if you never get started, you can never make any progress. So that's my message for you here today. When you're stuck in that state of analysis paralysis, when you're getting stuck in that state of taking in more information than you're necessarily executing upon, when you're stuck in that state of feeling like, again, God, I need to make this thing a little bit better. I need to tweak this thing just a little bit. Let me just make this one adjustment before I get it live. When you're in that state, remember these two things. Perfect is the enemy of done, and sometimes good enough just has to be good enough. Get out there, execute, take action, place the ad, write the email, host the webinar, whatever it is. And the minute you free yourself from that paradigm of being stuck in analysis paralysis is the minute that you'll start to make progress, start to have stuff to improve upon, and as a result, we'll start to get closer to hitting your goals. So that's my message for the day. Give me some comments, likes, hearts, and shares, all that jazz, if you guys are getting value and have got value out of today's Facebook Live. As always, be sure to go ahead and share this if you got value, and if I get the right number of shares to views, I'll be sure to do more Facebook Lives just like this one. And as always, get out there, kick today's ass, and I will see you in the next episode.